On June 28, 1914, the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, Franz Ferdinand, and his wife Sophie found themselves in Sarajevo. It was a small, intricately planned trip aimed at changing the views of the local people. The majority of them wanted independence from the Habsburgs and wished to join Serbia in a joint Slavic state. When the trip was announced, extremist groups saw it as the perfect moment to strike and send a message. A group called Young Bosnia, which included a man named Gavrilo Princip, a Serb nationalist who wanted nothing more than the unification of the Slavic states, was among them. Princip was part of a larger group of 6 assassins, coordinated by Danilo Ilic, Nedeljko Čebrinović, Trifko Grabej, Mohamed Mehmed Basic, and Cvjetko Popović. The Archduke, despite the risks, opted for an open-top car, believing it would make the rebellious people see them as more open and friendly rulers. On the way, the Archduke met his first assassin, who fumbled. The second one also fumbled. The third one threw a grenade, but by sheer luck, it bounced away, injuring a few officers and civilians in the back. The Archduke's driver panicked and sped through the street. The remaining assassins, confused about what was going on, missed the speeding car as the Archduke made it to the ceremony. All the assassins dispersed, except one. The Archduke was left shaken, but he wanted to continue the trip. However, given the risks, he first wanted to visit the injured civilians and officers at the hospital. The new plan was made, and all were on board, except for one. The driver started and began moving through the streets. They arrived at the point where Gavrilo Princip was standing. The driver, completely unaware of the new plan, made a wrong turn, finding himself right next to Gavrilo Princip, and then bullets fired. The Archduke and Sophie passed away, and anger swept across the empire. Now let's take a look at the fate of the participants. First, Danilo Ilic, the mastermind, was caught. On February 3, 1915, he was executed. Nedeljko Čebrinović, the man who threw the first bomb, showed remorse for his actions. He passed away in 1916 due to the horrific prison conditions. Trifko Grabej, another accomplice, was given a death sentence and passed away in 1916 due to tuberculosis. Vaso Čubrilović, one of the men who fumbled the bomb, was sentenced to 16 years, but was released in 1919 following the fall of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1981, he gave an interview. He lived a long life compared to the others, passing away in 1990. He saw the consequences of the organization's actions. Cvjetko Popović was sentenced to 13 years, but was released after the Great War ended. In 1964, Popović took this photograph of the street where the assassination took place. He passed away in 1980 and showed regret for his participation. Mohamed Mehmed Basic, the first assassin who fumbled the bomb, escaped, but was killed in World War II in 1943. And finally, Gavrilo Princip, the man who pulled the trigger, was sentenced to 20 years. He passed away in 1918 due to tuberculosis. He didn't know much about the world outside as he was forbidden from knowing such facts.